This is unprecedented.
I know, so short.
Yeah, but did you see the
What's
all the
that?
way at the bottom?
Wait a minute, wait a
No,
minute.
it's gone.
Oh, what do you have there? That's a special meeting.
Yeah, that's me.
That's
You need the one with the cap.
I was gonna say, I'm looking
Graduation
at.
cap.
Oh,
Well, but when you first sent out
I'm
the
like,
agenda,
wait a
I
minute,
was
that's
like,
not
wow,
the
it's so
agenda I have.
so short.
oh,
Oh, and you have
That
add-ons
was the one you
there.
weren't here for.
I see.
This is pretty short.
Okay.
Except we're
So
dealing with the
nobody's here
same
from
issues.
Rosendale Runs. Do we,
Wow.
Yeah, what is
has
it?
anybody talked to, did they come to the, do you know what's going on? I mean,
With what?
nobody's
Rosendale
here for Rosendale Runs?
Oh, no. Did they
Did they
they
submit-
knew
oh, they
they were on the
submitted
agenda?
Mandy, do you know
They
what?
usually come the second one, but these are the group that are one of the harder people to get in here. I remember I had a hard time last time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
really?
Just
it's
'cause
a
there's-
group of them.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Wonderful map. But
They're-
they're very diligent.
Yeah.
They're good, they're
But
good.
I will,
group.
I
They do a
will
good
send them
job.
an
I mean, we could just review it and just, if we have questions, ask them next week if you think it's like.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'll
I think
email
that's
them.
what we should
That's
do.
fine. Yeah.
I just was looking at their time frame, because
Oh,
I don't
wait.
wanna talk, I don't wanna,
Well, they have October 8th.
yeah, so we got plenty of time, so,
Good.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
just-
just thinking about the other one here.
Wow.
why don't we just officially refer it? Okay, we can do that,
Okay.
to the police,
Do you think it'll be a sort of a carbon copy of last year, or are they gonna?
No, I
keep it?
think they're doing, well, probably the same run. I don't think they're doing the same
Some adjustments.
fundraiser, right? Is it gonna be at the rec center?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking, I got my two things.
I know the rec
mixed up
commission
here.
is wholly behind this event.
Oh, it's a major success.
It was. So that's Columbus Day weekend. Holiday weekend. They're gonna do the pumpkin carving again. We'll have to bring
That was
the
so much
new
fun.
youth director up
So we
to
need
speed
to
on
make
that.
sure that the rec commission is on board with this too, I think.
They are.
Have they already reviewed this?
They haven't
All right,
reviewed
so
the
let's
plan,
officially,
so we can refer
refer
it
it
to them.
to, I wanna say, let's make a motion
They-
to refer it to the rec commission, the highway department, the police department.
Actually,
and
let's refer to youth too, because they have an event at the
And the
youth
youth
center
center.
the night before.
commission. Did we get everybody?
That sounds
Rec, youth,
like it.
police, highway,
Fire?
And fire department,
fire.
just because it's gonna be on the road. And, we have a private property involved too, so I just wanna make sure that we get permission from them.
Is that Williams Lake?
Yeah,
Or,
I think it's Williams Lake, right? So we should get a letter from them asking for, or approve, saying that they have, let's see. It's going through the rail trail. I don't know if it's going off the loop like it did last time in the caves, right? So that would be,
I think they wanted to do that again,
So if
because
they are,
with the
then-
music and.
right, so we should get a letter from of endorsement for that.
They said permission has been granted.
Yeah, but we need some from them.
Yeah, they know, I'll just remind them.
They need a letter, that's all.
Send them a letter.
Okay. Does anybody want to second that?
Well, hold on, it's, 1 second, just looking it over, so it looks like, they've already been to police.
But they still need it when.
We need it, yeah.
Okay,
We need something from them to say they have no
That-
issues with it or whatever, so
Right,
whoever we
okay.
refer to. So Mandy,
I'll second that motion.
Roll vote, Councilman Hughes.
Yes.
Councilman Metzger.
yes.
Councilwoman LaFarge.
Yes.
Supervisor Walsh, yes. John, you know you're the only man here.
What's that?
Ooh.
Oh,
And.
Oh, boy.
I knew I
We
was
had-
liking
And
this
we had
meeting.
none at the Memorial Day parade.
Oh.
It was,
Oh.
no, we have Bill Pate.
Oh, that's right, we had Bill Pate. That's right, I forgot. I can't believe I forgot Bill. Our justice,
All right.
from the board, I should call it.
And then we had a mass gathering permit application from came about because I was a little disappointed that we hadn't been included when they did the Kingston Classic, you know, and Hits was involved in that, and I said something to,
They didn't bring a.
we don't
site plan.
even know, all of a
Right.
sudden, that either the signs are up and they're closing the road, you know, and
Right.
no
Oh,
one's
yeah.
told us, and so I wanna make sure that they understand that events that take place in town, especially if they go off private property, especially onto roads, we wanna, and so I do think there is a run involved in this that might go off site, just wanted to say.
Yep.
Can I just back up for a minute? So, will
Yeah.
you and Rec get do we have an electronic version of this that?
I do.
we-
Mandy-
that we
Mandy
could
has to
send
send it to
to
them.
those chairs?
Hi, Jen.
Okay. Wow.
By now, I'm
So they
used to
have
these.
4 races.
It's a triathlon.
Yeah, they have the half and full,
Wow.
sprint, Olympic.
That's a pretty big event.
Oh, yeah.
It says they're going swimming too.
How many people?
Oh, right, because it's triathlon.
Yeah,
Swim,
lifeguards.
bike, run. Starts at 7 a.m.
It's a big
But
event.
what goes till midnight? Because it said the whole thing went to midnight.
Because it takes hours and hours to do that.
Some people do that second part.
Do they have a, do you see a total number?
I'm looking.
They have a dinner till midnight.
Oh. Wow.
I don't know
And then
where.
the next day is mermaid race.
Yeah, it's going on 213 and 28A and all that, so it's gonna
Oh,
go
wow.
out of Rosendale
Yeah.
and all over. Yeah, it looks like 213.
Oh, fun.
500 participants plus friends and family.
If you look at, are you looking at this
is
page?
definitely a
Hmm?
mass. Like a mass.
Looking at
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
Oh,
So, I would say that, what's the date on this?
the 9th of
July.
July.
Coming up.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's
I think we
pretty
need to
soon.
give a call to them to come next week, Mandy,
Yeah.
because we need to review this and ask some questions.
7
But in the
a.m.
meantime, let's go ahead and refer this to, make a motion to refer this to the police department, the fire departments that are in our town, that it
Highway
goes through,
department.
highway department,
It goes until midnight?
Well, that's what it says on the
Well, it
cover.
says they're having a dinner,
It says 7 a.m. to midnight.
but no, on the,
Dates and times the
on
gatherings
the
will,
one
that, a
page,
series of gatherings will be held.
From 3 to 12 is
Yeah.
their athletes' dinner.
yeah.
Right.
And on Friday night to 10 is their sign set up.
Where do they go to eat?
Maybe they're catering.
well, here it says, the first aid stations must be able to handle events up to 2,500 people. I don't know if that's just.
It's unclear, I read that, and it's unclear
Yeah,
whether
that
they're
doesn't
just
mean-
restating policy or if
Right,
that's
right,
what they're
that's what I
expecting.
can't tell from that.
Wow.
Yeah, the last run finishes at midnight, okay? That's why it's at midnight.
The last run.
Yeah, it ends at midnight.
That's,
Yeah, that was on a run, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's-
What?
Half and full.
It ends on
right.
a run, I think.
but that's, do they run out in the
Swim
road
first, right.
at night?
Right?
Probably, headlamps and stuff. It's serious, this is a full size.
It's a
If you do
triathlon.
the
But
whole
they-
thing,
right.
it's Ironman.
Right, but they don't,
Yeah, yeah.
they don't
I don't
close
know
any
if it is
roads
that,
or
though.
anything like that.
So-
They don't close any roads.
We have to read this better, because I'm not sure.
Yeah, and it's on so many
Right.
roads.
It's just that, I mean, there's just the safety issues
Well,
at
doesn't
night.
it say, there's a section that
Proposed
said
traffic controls
what was gonna be
officers
done
on
at
that.
each?
They have, say that again, Joe?
It says on here, proposed traffic control at 11 intersections is
Mhm.
officer.
Right. I mean,
That's-
usually
That's
those,
their own provision though, right? That's their own safety volunteers kind of thing?
yes, police officers will be hired
Hired,
to
right.
control key intersections. I mean, usually these types of events have a lot of people
Right, to
out
keep people
on the
safe,
street,
right.
yeah.
Right,
Because on some of the roads, it's
Volunteer
not.
marshals,
but even like, you know, the Ride the Ridge event, you're still riding at your own risk, even though there's support.
Right.
So these kind of things,
Just
they'll
in
just
between
run with a
checkpoints.
headlamp and they're at their own risk, even though
Right, just as though they were
there's
running
support for it, yeah,
for conditioning for it, right.
right.
street line. Okay. Wow.
A lot of signage. I would like to make sure that they're not gonna spray on the roads. I mean,
Yeah,
spray paint the roads.
well, that'd be a
Well,
good
you're
thing
not
to
gonna be able to
ask.
say anything about that except for the town roads. We can't dictate that. If they get permission from county and state, we can't say no.
Right.
That's just.
Well, we can ask if they get permission.
Or
I
suggest,
don't
yeah.
think that they did get them. I mean, it's not them,
It's
that
not
it was
even-
that
It's
SOS
going through
race.
other towns too, it's going through,
Mhm.
you know.
Well, it's looking like all the
So
signage
that's
is.
something to mention next week if they come also. Mess our roads.
Well, they may be digging up Main Street sometime soon, so.
Do we, any word on that? Well, it might be an obstacle course too.
Jump over the pipe.
I don't think it goes that much.
No.
It wouldn't be closed at night, or on a weekend. So,
Like 3 miles.
hmm?
There's different,
Yeah, they're different lengths, but if you do the full one,
Yeah, the
it's,
full
it's a
112
full
mile.
marathon, full, yeah,
Uh,
112
right
mile
on
bike
Lake
ride.
Road, left on Binningwater Road, right on Sawdust Avenue becomes Cottical Road, right onto US 209, left on Milldam Road, right on Bogart Lane, left on Bogart Road. So you know, that's all Rosendale up to there. And they're into Marbletown. And they're going up to State Route 28,
Right.
28A.
Oh, yeah, around the reservoir.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know if we'll do that.
I'd stop at Bakery and get a ride.
Nobody let you in because you'd be wearing your swimsuit.
Out.
No shirt, no shoes, no service, sorry, no bagel.
Speedos.
Yeah, the building's not there anymore, right? They got the building in the picture.
I guess they were planning to eat there.
Yeah.
Their dinner.
It doesn't say where that's
In a
happening.
rubble pile. I'd do that second one.
Wow.
It's not that bad. Run 3 miles, bike 12 miles. I'd do that
Oh,
pretty
Oh,
easily.
Jimmy.
You will, do you have the seat on the back for me?
Yeah, I'll fill you in this little wagon. Swimming.
Got the parking layout.
Mhm. Yes, they indicate here they know that was a former building.
yeah, a lot of coverage on the parking, that was.
Well,
They
that's
thought
a
of that.
typical site plan, that you need that.
Yeah.
I think, let's get some feedback on from our police department, but they did say somewhere in here they're working closely with the police department.
The sheriffs and the
Sure.
state police.
But,
I would think it was tomorrow.
huh?
Yeah, I was wondering that too, if it went to Marbletown.
Probably not, because I asked for it. I said, if you're having something, you better send me something.
Yeah, I don't know if they.
Of course, the
do-
actual event is happening in Rosendale,
Right.
and they're going through the other towns, but still. A lot of those people may be watching it along the roads too.
Mhm.
Right, you got a good point there. Look at that.
Okay.
Sounds like fun. All right. Sign me up.
That's pretty, I paid, according, yeah, it says 500 participants, but I'm assuming this is gonna turn into
Oh,
1,000.
it'll be a lot more, yeah. You figure for every one, there's likely to be
So
at
are
least
we-
two.
Are we
Yeah.
requiring the
Buy
town
those
to
with this.
need additional
Well, we
insured for
Hardcore,
this?
yeah, just hardcore.
I
We
do
did,
this every
right?
week.
So I think we need to be additionally insured for this too?
The town.
I think so.
Interesting.
I think
So how do we
doesn't
go?
our mass gathering, do you remember, Mandy, if we do an additional insured for more than 1,000 people?
We've never really went through with it,
We've never had that many people. do
except
this.
the last application.
That was rejected.
Didn't have that.
Did it come
Yeah,
through?
we do, there's a street festival to do.
Yeah, that's true,
I
yeah,
think
they
so.
do.
I think we need
do.
additional insured for that.
If we're approving a site plan.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably
We
it's a
need
good
that.
idea.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And that's,
To protect the town.
yeah, we just need to go through our code and check and see if they've really given us everything. We've only got 1 week to approve this, so
Right,
they're
that's
down to
true.
the wire here.
yeah, really, wow,
So I'm surprised there's
such a
so
big thing.
Yeah.
Enjoying it.
And then there's a standard way that we exact a fee from them, cover the insurance bump up.
So say did you get it?
We never said that.
No, they give us an additional insurance from their insurance.
Yeah, they give us
They don't have to
certificate.
give us
Yeah.
that.
But,
It's just an
there
insurance
is a-
override for,
Sure.
like, usually it doesn't cost anything, but they're an event, so they probably have event insurance for that day, so.
But there is dues for mass gathering permit,
And
but
you
that,
didn't collect that, right?
because remember we talked about it, it's the discretion of the board kind of thing.
Mm.
There was no like set.
Well, without anybody here, I can't say, but it sounds to me like there's gonna be more than 500 people, it looks more like 1,000 people, and I think under those conditions, we should get a permit.
Well, this is held every year, right? This held every year?
It's never been held here before, so it's
I
good.
think they have once, I don't know.
Yeah, they've had them before,
They've
but
had
this, I
trials.
don't know if they've had it
I don't know if
this,
they have.
Has it been this
full
extensive?
Ironman,
Yeah,
no.
this is-
This is much bigger than a regular.
You'll get people from a lot of states.
Yeah. It's a big deal. I wonder what it costs to enter.
I don't know, but I hope they do it by age category.
I mean, they did a nice job of describing the event in their
Yeah.
plan. Their site plan is pretty nice, but I think we still need to go back to our,
I mean, it'd be nice to know from past events, like, maybe they can give us a better idea. The numbers that come to this, like 500, what does that mean when it's all inclusive? You
Right.
know,
Mhm.
How many of
no,
them?
it says participants,
I say
500 participants
plus
plus
friends and
friends and
family.
family.
Right, that's what I'm
If
saying.
each of them brings one friend, that's 1,000 people.
Well, right,
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Doesn't
saying.
it say something about vendors too? It's a related vendor expo as well. So
I mean,
they
the
have
thing
all
is,
those people with all their
A
stuff.
lot of
Right.
people may not, because it's so long.
Right,
They,
they come alone sometimes.
yeah, I
Right,
mean, when
there's
John
a
does
lot of
bike
that.
racing, we never go.
Well, but
Yes,
you
so
have,
there's a
can't
lot
see
of
them,
that.
they take off.
And they
they're
come
gone.
too early.
Yeah, you don't see
They're-
them for
it's
hours
really
and hours.
early in the morning.
yeah, but you
so-
do have sprints and you have people that might just come to see them swim and be like,
Right.
woo, and then go
It's-
hang out.
And
Sure.
it would, might be worth just asking them, based on past experience, what the total number, including gas.
Well,
you
how
know.
many vendors they have and how much is that? Because that's not listed here.
Is,
It's just parking.
Did they talk about vendors?
No, it just listed,
that's
it's
sort
just on the
of in
front.
the title somewhere,
Well, it's in
or-
number
or on
3
the-
on the front
on a
page.
show page.
It says triathlon races consist of swimming, swim, bike, and run. And then it says related vendor expo with no explanation.
That's usually people that sell product that those people would.
Right.
use.
Yeah, like
Oh,
sites.
that's true.
Right, like Band-Aids.
Yeah.
And like
Ace bandage.
Alex removing,
All that bike gear, all
All
that
light
gear.
gear and stuff like that.
Awesome.
Your new,
awesome seats, the super cushiony seats.
No, they don't use them.
Defibrillators.
No, the guys that race do not wear the super cushiony seats.
I'm,
That'd be for the women. Um,
Right, because if,
There's no explanation of that. It's
All right,
like
so the
12
problem
vendors.
is, our mass gathering permit application has some information they request from them, but I think we need to go back to the code and see if there's other things in there, Andy, that he's gotta give us. I don't see anything on here about the insurance.
Yeah,
Check.
I'll pull it up.
Does anybody on the board, or Mandy, do you, or Jill, do you know this guy? I mean, has he done events?
Yeah, he does
before?
the hits.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
he's,
so, all
he's an
right, so
event
we're,
planner, yeah.
yeah, so he's,
They're very used to doing these.
Sure.
things. Yeah, they're very well seasoned. They're the ones that are the Kingston Classic. And
right, so, I mean, he needs, if we're gonna approve this next week, then we gotta have all our answers.
We need some
in,
doubts.
and including what is the vendor thing? What's the nighttime thing, what's the,
Yeah, security.
Active.
There's nothing here from the police, the fire department, nothing.
But yeah, it says in the
That's
state.
because
I
we're
think
just.
they probably consulted, or they probably had it, and then,
Well, they may have, contacted the police already, because that's
Right.
part of their plan, but typically when we get a mass
This
gathering,
was the first.
we would refer it
Right.
officially from us.
and then get all that feedback.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's in there, it says they do have state police and Ulster County sheriffs
Yeah.
Yes,
assisting. So,
So,
Wonderful.
I'm sure they're doing traffic controls, right?
DOT's in there.
Huh?
DOT's in there.
Oh, good.
yeah,
Because they're going on.
Coordination.
They're going on some state roads.
All right, do we have a list of things? Do you have a
I think
list
I
of
just made a
things we need to
motion.
ask?
she made the motion a while ago. and then
I'll
it
second it.
Went off.
all right.
Roll vote, Councilman Hughes,
yes.
Councilman Metzger,
Yes.
Councilman LaFari,
Yes.
Supervisor Walsh. Yes. Jill, did you not get the first meeting?
Is this, internet service? Contract with
Yep.
For,
This is
for next
we've
year.
had, it's starting now, yeah, it's a new contract. They've reduced our rates, actually, so that's
Okay,
perfect.
never happens.
Yeah. Happy with that?
Very nice.
If you look at that page that says Schedule A, it used to be $650, was it $650, Mandy, for the BOCES? And then it was $150 for the other fee, so both of those have gone down significantly. And of course, these are fees that we share
I'm
with.
sorry, what did you say that it used to be?
$650, I think it is.
So it went down significantly.
Yeah, and the other one was
For a
$150.
third.
So both of those have gone down a lot, and those are also, so that's also something that we share with ARC and
Marlton.
Wilmington, and even the growers pay a portion of it too. So we'll configure their new rates appropriately.
How long is this for?
It's in 1 year,
Contract.
No, it's,
is it 1 year? This is I think this is only the second one we've done with them, so it might be.
We
three.
lock it in for free?
no, it's, I think it's several years.
It goes through 2021,
Yeah.
June 30th, 2021.
Yep.
Wow,
So July
5 years.
1st
That's
to
excellent.
June
That's
30th.
really
yeah.
good.
nice.
I say yes, let's
They-
vote now.
They're very,
Quick.
they're very happy to be part of this project, of this building, and that was really important to be
Yeah.
able to
Good.
provide the internet for this project.
That's great.
And they're trying to, reach out to more municipalities and make them part of it.
So, other municipalities that are not schools or former schools can participate in this as well? or-
Only if they offer to, they offered it to us, so we,
Mhm.
but,
Because I know other municipalities are interested.
yes,
Yeah.
but we haven't, that's not really, they're
Right.
looking at that possibility and trying to figure out.
Mhm. Okay.
But, I know that this contract is based on a new bid that they just did to get the service, so.
Mhm.
And they did offer us to expand to our buildings, which means they would run the lines and everything. But at this point, I'm not seeing cost savings to go into some of the other locations.
Are other buildings in
Yes.
like?
They would put a trunk line in similar to this, and we'd have very high speed and all that for all our locations. But it's much more, it's like $325 for every location, which is much higher. We get like 70, 80 right now, for each location. But it might be worth it for the rec center, so I'm gonna investigate that, because we could combine it so that the service would be for the whole.
Did you say 300?
if it was 325.
Maybe consider how much things could improve at the transfer station after that, if they had,
Yeah,
they have nothing up there.
yeah.
And it's transfer station and dog control. So,
We'll have to
might
consider
consider
that.
it.
It's
A
still
lot
a
of,
lot-
there's
that's-
a lot of things we've talked about.
That's a lot
in
of
the
money though for the amount of service they need, you know, what they use it for. You know, for $325 a month, that's a lot of money for them to pay out.
Yeah, yeah, it would have to be in combination with actually doing things to make it
Right, if
worthwhile,
we're not
not
using, just to have, they
right.
don't use a computer, they don't, you
Right.
know, the only reason we, you know, we're looking at was for phone at one point and computer, and then, you know, they're not using, they wouldn't use a computer anyway, so it didn't make any sense. And then,
Oh.
you know, maybe you could have a credit card machine there or something like that, there's some things you could have done, but
Yeah.
they're not, the staff isn't interested in doing that, and I think we could have an issue about, you know, really getting them to have, you know, the training and
Right.
the comfort, being comfortable with that. But it's not out of the question, but
There-
right now I don't see, financially, I don't see the reason to do it.
At one point, I have talked with Renee about posting things about on Craigslist, because they get a lot of things that, you know, they could potentially
She's
earn
not-
for revenue.
I've already been with other stuff, it's never
Yeah.
I can't even give you a sheet up on my computer. But,
That's not very good
if you,
handwriting.
you know, a few years back, what happened was Cornerstone, who provides the phone service, had a new line put in there to give them a phone that was not failing, like all the lines on that road are, so they had, you know, contracted and paid for that new phone line. It was
Mhm.
used to be that the phone wasn't working.
Mhm.
But anyway, I'm excited to see this happen, and I do
Yeah,
think
that's great.
we're buying the equipment to make our internet from rec center, be able to use not the bathhouse, the pump station, because you need internet for that
Oh,
pump station.
yeah.
But it might be worth it going into next year to say, let's combine youth, pool, you know,
Yeah.
rec, and now you have a whole facility that's running on one system. And so
That'd
then
be good.
that makes a difference, you know, when you're talking about everybody that comes there, they can have internet, you know.
Yeah.
and all
That would
Seems
actually
like
be
a really-
really valuable.
It is, but
for-
I don't think we had the time to get all that in place before the pool opened. So for this
Right.
year, it didn't feel like a
Right,
good
but
fit.
we could do it next year.
Yeah, and we could still, he's willing to add that on at any time. if we say
Okay,
we
no,
want
that's
to.
great, that's great. I could see,
Oh, did we,
I could
Oh,
see
we didn't
the
read
uses
it.
for the youth.
Oh, we'll do it
We're
next
not
week?
doing, this is just a review.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
That's right, this is.
We have such a
this is
light
not
load
the
that I
meeting.
don't want to do resolutions, I'll have nothing to do next
Ah,
week.
ah.
Well, also, if you guys
It's
have any other
okay
questions.
to do very little,
Yes,
every once in a while.
every once in a while.
Not in Rosendale.
All right, pool change order now,
So actually,
Oh,
right? No?
yeah,
I wanted to see how much that was. Sort of different type size, right? Some of those.
1 inch to 2
so
inch.
basically, you're approving this a little late, just so we get it done.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's done, woo, good job, we're gonna do it already. You guys want that pool open, right?
Right.
Yeah, just do whatever you need to do.
It looks
Get it
great
open.
when it's down there for the
It
car
does.
show.
Yeah.
Me and Jackson walked
Now that
around.
it's all
Yeah.
painted.
And I did, and John and I did a walkthrough this morning, and, actually, we should announce that, both, Mark Massio and Vicky Coyne are going to pool together their resources and assist us in doing the sod and some plantings around the pool, and we'll probably get that either at a very low cost, and, or, you know, some donations from them, so.
Very
Thank
kind.
them for that, that was
Nice.
very nice.
That's so
And-
fabulous. Do you
It
want me
is.
to check to see if the
No,
other
we're
one?
just,
Very
I
good.
don't, we don't wanna go backwards. We're just
Okay.
going forward.
Fantastic.
Well, that's fantastic. They do the sod too.
Yes, I think we're
Really
probably,
great.
I offered he could do it for, you know, he wanted to do some, you know, things for us. I said, well, you know, if you could do it for cost, that would be great. And I think so we might be doing that. And,
That's
and
very
then Vicky-
generous.
And then Vicky's gonna do some things around our temporary entrance, so it's a little bit more like some flowers and
Mhm.
stuff
Right.
around that. So they kind of split up the workload, and
Mhm.
I think, you know, that's the last thing that's gonna get done before we open. It's not ideal, because we would have liked to had 3 weeks for the sod to really take hold, but I think for this year, you know, we're just happy that we're gonna have that, and not have big muddy mess.
Yeah, just have to water it a lot.
Yeah.
But
Water
of
it a
course,
lot.
people will
Well,
be watering them
and-
with their.
Terry was there today, we
Yeah.
talked about, you know, the pool, the
Coordinated
filling of the
dripping.
pool is starting tomorrow. If he got everything ready tomorrow or Friday, but we're shooting for tomorrow.
I'm going pool hopping.
And then, once the pool's filled, we'll start working at night or, you know, during this, the staff will have to start working on, watering that sod once it's down.
Yeah,
But, so we only have a few things left to do. We have to blacktop a few spots. The town's blacktopping where the old snack shack was. The contractor's blacktopping that path that goes to the back and to the temporary entrance.
oh, Bob's not doing that part?
No.
That's, oh, okay.
There's a little bit of stonework around that bench where that, what is that thing called, where that big basin that's behind next to this, you know what that is?
Yeah.
It's
Are the bricks going in?
the bricks, some
Oh,
bricks
full
already
bricks?
in. We have
I
another,
gotta
we
go
have some,
quickly buy my bricks.
you better, because you just ordered more bricks, and we're
Okay.
we're trying to figure out who's gonna put in some temporary, you know, a small area, just so we have a little path from the temporary entrance. But, you know, I'm hoping once people see the bricks
Yeah.
in the ground, that they'll buy more bricks, because we have couple other places, like where we're gonna put umbrellas, and where we're gonna have like little bricked areas, so, but that might be a project for next spring. But, you know, we're gonna do a little bit of, you know, at least 2 areas now.
I mean, I guess what I was thinking is areas that are slated to be blacktop are those areas that
Eventually,
could be
we
bricks.
will be able to remove some blacktop and put some more bricks in. But for now, we're gonna put the blacktop back where it was,
Mhm.
and, because we didn't have enough bricks, you know, we haven't been bought. And people have
And
to.
we should have,
Do we-
somebody have a brick
So is
stand
this,
instead of lemonade. stand.
Well, the cashiers will still sell bricks,
Nice.
you know.
Yeah.
Now, this is, you're talking about, this is the path that goes along the side of the pavilion, right? Is
Yes,
that one
yes,
of the areas?
that's getting blacktop.
Yeah, does it need to be blacktop? Do we
It
need
has to be, yeah.
Okay.
It would be a mess if we didn't. And then there'll be that little gate. The gates are gonna be exactly where they were before, and that's the other thing that has to be done is the new fencing. So basically, new fencing, fill the pool, finish
Topsoil.
topsoil. Once the topsoil's down, he can go ahead and the blacktop's done, he can go ahead and put the sod in. And that's really where we're at. That little bit of brick area and the stonework that's going on, what will become a seating area, but it's really a tank. It's like some kind of holding tank, I forgot what it's called, but it's right by the lab pool.
Yeah.
And that's gonna have stonework on the sides, and it's gonna have like a slab on top.
It's like a natural feature,
Yeah.
2-tiered feature.
Yeah. it's like a natural feature. And that's pretty
Oh.
much close to the finish line here.
And Mark Mascio did really recommend that sort of, the sod cordon off like a third at a time for low traffic, or like fence it off
People
with
to
an
walk
orange
on it.
tape or something.
Well,
Like he was saying, if we just free traffic everywhere, it
It'll-
wouldn't be good, like give it some
I know
quarantine
what
section.
he's saying,
Yeah.
but we're gonna have a full pool, we're gonna
Right.
need every bit of that grassy spot.
Well,
Those areas, I do not see that we're gonna be able to cordon off things, because I
Right.
think we're gonna be full. I mean, if that's the case that we can, but we can't be squishing people, and I don't even think the
Yeah.
health department's gonna let us do that. You gotta have an area for people to sit, you
And
can't
we-
squish
Yeah, I guess we'll have to
around.
see how-
I guess we have to fence it.
And, you know, look, I hope that
Right.
That
this
would
sod
create more
survives,
space.
but if it
Sure.
doesn't, we'll do some repair work in the fall, and
Uh-huh.
we'll seed it, you know, we can do some,
Some
winter
plugs.
grass or something.
Right.
Yeah, but, you know, we can seed then in some places if we had to, or
Sure,
repair or
okay.
replace, but I think this is about just getting open and
Right.
making it a pleasant.
Yeah.
Are we
it's
gonna
like-
have a ribbon cutting?
Yes, we will. We just didn't want to set the date until we were sure there wasn't any snags in place.
Right.
But I did tell him, I asked Tara to look at picking a day, maybe the second week in July, you know, so we could have a soft opening and then just do a ribbon cutting the second week. But I don't have a date. Yes, Mandy?
It can't be July 8th, 9th, 10th,
Are you going away?
11th.
Is that be the 12th, 13th,
Well,
14th?
we don't want
People!
I'm Looks like looking we my don't want a date honeymoon anyway. before her vacation, so it doesn't
We
run
won't be
into each other.
So, you know.
Unless you can take us all to Aruba, I'm sorry. No deal.
All right, so we're gonna do this resolution now, just because we're already behind
Good,
schedule.
okay.
But if you guys are okay, before we do that, I would like to make a motion that, and you know, I'm hoping the board will support me in this, that the supervisor has the authority to make any other small changes necessary between now and June 30th with Councilman John Metzger's
Or Hughes.
counsel and
Oh, John.
John
In
Hughes.
case you didn't know.
You know, we weren't gonna make it.
I just made you one person, that's all I did.
He's the electrical inspector.
You guys are blurring together for me, what can I tell you?
Yeah, right. You're all blurring together.
This whole thing has gotten to.
Well, now it's out.
All right, so let me amend that to John Hughes. And that, you know, we just do a verbal with all the councils. So-
I'll second that,
Okay,
sure.
thank you.
As long as since the price tag's not over.
Oh, just be quiet about that, we're just gonna do what we gotta do, we're getting this
And
done.
you said,
Well, it
right,
looks
I'm
like, you know,
fine
the
with
big
that.
money has
I-
been spent.
Yeah,
Last
year.
we got some small things we're gonna have to
If you know,
find.
you need an extra light bulb, it's all good.
Thank you.
Don't hold it up.
They discovered some geyser.
Comfortably.
Yeah, we're really close, but you know,
Patch it.
these are kind of little things that come up and you're like, you know, you can't wait for another town board meeting, because,
No,
you know,
no,
we gotta
that's
get
fine.
it done.
Get it done, get it
And
done.
we're, you know, we're doing okay, and the contract is less than what we were, you know, the cost is actually less than what we
Yeah.
contracted for, so we're
Was
good.
it like 64,000?
Roll vote, Councilman Hughes?
Yes.
Metzger?
Yes.
I got a hyphenated name there.
Councilwoman Lepari?
Yes.
Supervisor Walker?
Yes. All right, so then I'm
So
gonna
you
do,
said tomorrow they're starting to fill.
Councilman Hughes Metzger.
Is that what you said, tomorrow they're
that,
starting to fill?
they've been, Terry's been asked to do it tomorrow, whether he, do you know, Jill, if he was saying
Oh,
it?
he was
He's
He's
gonna
gonna be able
check
to make it
see,
happen, yeah, because, you know, I don't know what else he had going on. And, I know we found out today that he gotta do it tomorrow, so we'll see, we might have to push it off till Friday. But it should, take, you know, if everything goes smooth, it should take 10 days to fill.
Right.
We're ahead of schedule right now because I was looking at the spreadsheet and it was saying the 14th, we should be done painting the pool.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
we're
neat.
ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo!
We're doing
I'm gonna be the first
touch-ups.
online. I'm gonna be waiting there, the hour before open.
All right.
A week, yeah.
So I'm gonna do, so that, then we're gonna do resolution 6, 2016. Is this, one?
And that's for
Pool change order 5, whereas the town board of the town of Rosendale entered into an agreement with Weston Sampson as our engineers and Transitional Builders as our contractors for the rebuilding of the new town pool, and whereas Weston Sampson has made recommendations for change order number 5 to address changes in pipe size for the filter building. Now therefore be resolved, the town board of the town of Rosendale authorize the supervisor to sign change order 5 to address changes in pipe size for the filter building, and be further resolved that the town board of the town of Rosendale authorize supervisor to sign additional change orders which may occur so long as such change orders are recommended by Weston Sampson and will not compromise the project, and we will not say that last part. We're not-
And
We've
which-
already just
oh.
did a motion, so I don't want to
Oh,
undo
so
the
get rid
motion.
of and which
Yeah, take that
result
off.
and toss it. Okay.
So stop at project?
Yes. The first project.
I'll second that.
Roll vote, Councilman Hughes?
Yes.
Councilwoman Metzger?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lepari?
Yes.
Supervisor Walker?
Yes.
You got thrown off.
I know, I know. And then this other one is also underway.
Wait a sec.
This is some conduits that had to be moved out of the way, which normally would have been into the next round of the project, and so now it had to be done in order for them to finish digging up what they had to dig up, so. Whereas, so this is 2016-2, pool change order number 6, whereas the town board of the town of Rosendale entered into an agreement with Weston Sampson as our engineers and Transitional Builders as our contractors for the rebuilding of the new town pool. And whereas Weston Sampson has made recommendation for change order number 6 to install additional conduits. Now therefore be resolved, the town board of the town of Rosendale authorize supervised sign change order number 6 to install additional conduits. And further resolved, the town board, the town of Rosendale authorize the supervisor to sign additional change orders which may occur so as long as such change orders are recommended by Weston Sampson will not compromise the project period.
I'll second that one.
Roll vote, Councilman Hughes?
Yes.
Councilwoman Metzger?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Brien?
Yes.
Supervisor Walsh?
Yes.
Well, I have to find a new project for
That's right. Brick
I
salesman.
think he'll be happy.
No, we still have to do the bathhouse.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
We're not done.
I got some projects.
All right, so Jen has asked us to look at this next resolution for the Pilgrim Pipeline opposition.
Yeah,
But I
it's
would-
been a while since we've had a Pilgrim Pipeline resolution, so I thought
So-
we needed it.
Do you think we forgot about it?
It's only
Even-
been like
It's been like,
Every
I
month.
know, well, we skipped a month.
It should be every other month, absolutely.
So,
We also have an additional, where is that, Jen?
Second page, top, whereas.
Mary Lou recommended to add that, whereas this would be a direct potential conflict to meet approvals for an organization as part of the New York State.
whereas this would be, I don't understand the
Did
sentence.
you say that, did you write that correctly? Where this would be a direct potential conflict
So,
to
To need approvals.
need approvals for an organization as part of the New York State retirement. Yeah. So what she's saying is because we give the permits for anything that they do, it would be a conflict of interest for them to come to us for a permit when our money is tied up in their
Wow.
investment.
I see that, but boy, it would be great if we could make that a little more clear in
How can we
this
say,
sentence.
this is the sentence she's.
That's exactly what she wrote down. I know, it's a little,
Whereas this would be a direct potential conflict of interest, do we want to say? For,
If approvals are needed or something.
no, they are gonna need approvals, that's potential conflict. Because,
I think-
because the town, because the Pilgrim Pipeline project would need approvals from,
Well, isn't that further explained in the next?
no,
This would be, this would be a direct potential, put an A, that helps. This would be a direct potential conflict of interest, I think.
of interest, yes.
Um,
I would say because,
Or if the, I'd say maybe, yeah,
it's not if, they are gonna need approvals from the
So-
town.
because,
Due to
uh,
the need for approvals from an organization that is part of the blah, 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 blah,
due to needed approvals,
blah.
right?
That's fine.
From, yeah, that's better.
All right.
So whereas this would be a direct potential conflict of interest due to needed approvals from an organization that is part of the New York State, what is that?
local retirement.
Well, it's
Local
the retirement.
system. Okay.
So,
Couldn't think
yeah,
of all those approvals.
just for a little context for this,
Due to needed approvals.
yes.
So
So this would be,
potential
we're inserting
conflict
an A direct potential conflict
of interest.
of interest. We're inserting of interest,
Due to.
yeah, due to needed approvals from, and then the rest is the same.
From an organization?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that was probably a miswrite.
yeah.
She writes like a doctor.
Huh?
She writes like a doctor.
Yes. She writes like a lawyer. So the context for this is this, or a version of this resolution was originally drafted by Tim Rogers, the village of New Paltz mayor. And who has done research on this which manages $800 million worth of pension fund investments. So, and Ares is the main financial backer of the Pilgrim Pipelines project.
Interesting.
So, they purchased a company that is the main backer. So, basically, this is requesting that the comptroller review the entire, points out, the issues with Pilgrim, but requests that the comptroller review the entire portfolio for its consistency with the people's goals and interests in New York State. So, but I'm really glad Mary Lou pointed that out, because I had been thinking, what had occurred to me was that you have all of these towns that have gone on record with resolutions of opposition to this project, and the staff of all of those towns' pensions are invested in that. So that puts them, puts those
We
towns.
also put a portion, the town's money goes into it too.
Well, that- right.
Employees have
Right.
their portion, but the towns invest in that because, we put a portion of the investment in there.
Yeah,
for
so
their retirement.
it's definitely a conflict, and I think that this is an important dimension of the project to approach, is its financing, so. But, okay, so.
Did Tim Rogers' research bear out that it is like a clear conflict of interest, or is it?
No,
we're-
no,
But-
no,
but
he,
this
it's,
is more.
Well,
Yeah.
it would almost be like
Control
it would almost be like a determination to be made, like
Right.
we're saying that we feel this is a potential conflict of interest and we wanna look at it. So Mary Lou is pointing out that not only is it what Tim mentioned, but it's also this additional conflict, because
Right. Yeah,
when
that's real.
when you're an investor, you can't be the investor and the person that gives out the permit. So how does that work, And they have to get permits from both the state, the state, New York State Retirement Fund is the investor,
Mhm.
and the state is giving permits to them, right? Or
Right.
approvals.
Right.
And they're gonna come to each of our towns and say, we're going through your town, we need this permit or that permit to do this. And they're using our money.
Right.
So that's conflict.
Mhm.
yeah,
Normally, if you came for a permit and you were someone that made the decisions about that permit, you'd have to recuse yourself. You'd have to
Right.
step out of that decision making.
yeah, that adds a really interesting element to it. It
Yeah,
really does.
for sure.
But, I think that, the comptroller should be receptive to this. He's been really good about trying to ensure transparency and accountability. He recently, joined with the Church of England to essentially force ExxonMobil to consider the climate impact.
Right,
Do you
yeah.
think we should send this to our local county comptroller too, as just as someone that we want to,
I think,
to look at it also?
Maybe.
And I think our local comptroller, knows how many towns have opposed this, and,
Well, maybe we
he
should-
also has a relationship with the state comptroller, so.
Mhm.
be a friend of them. We should probably have,
Why don't we put
we should probably have in here, that copies of this resolution should be sent to, that's not in here.
why
as
don't
it is
we
now.
add
By
that?
the town
Be it-
clerk.
Just a few.
I'm kind of.
So we'll say and be further resolved?
Do we, yeah.
Be it the furthest.
The furthest resolve.
Mhm.
The
That-
town board of the town of Rosendale.
I just think that copies of this resolution.
Yeah, but we have to direct Mandy to do that. We have to
Is
say
that
the
the
town
town
board
clerk?
of the town of Rosendale directs the town clerk to send a copy of this resolution to York State Comptroller.
Yeah, I think we should send it to the governor's office.
Governor,
Governor, you said?
Yeah, county comptroller.
and the county comptroller.
So the New York State Comptroller,
County as well.
And the governor's office. Does that sound good?
Yeah,
All right.
So those are the only three, or is there someone else?
I think that that's good.
Okay.
So,
The only other thing I would,
want me to read it?
go ahead.
Whereas the New York State and local, oh, should I read the whole title? Where's
Including
number
resolution.
3, right? Resolution 06/2016-3, requesting the New York State Comptroller to review Ares Management's portfolio companies through the lens of Governor Cuomo's Reforming the Energy Vision, REV plan. Whereas the New York State and Local Retirement System, a pension trust fund for the state-managed assets valued at $184.5 billion as of March 2015 on behalf of more than 1 million participants. And whereas the New York State Comptroller is the administrative head of the retirement system, and as fiduciary, the Comptroller acts in the best interest of the system's members and retirees. And whereas New York SLRS contracts with various third-party investment firms, including publicly traded global asset manager Ares Management, headquartered in Los Angeles, California. And whereas as of March 31st, 2015, NYSLRS entrusted Ares with nearly $800 million to invest across various investment strategies on behalf of the pension fund's participants. And whereas for fiscal year ended March 31st, 2015, NYSLRS paid Ares nearly $9 million in management fees. And whereas on January 1st, 2015, Ares announced its acquisition of energy infrastructure asset manager Energy Investors Funds, EIF, and whereas Ares declared the EIF transaction provides Ares an entry into the large and growing energy infrastructure industry, and EIF represents exactly what we look for in an investment strategy that is attractive for our collective fund investors and a deep expertise that we believe will benefit and further diversify Ares' existing strategies. And whereas EIF is invested in the Pilgrim Pipelines, can we add an S there, pipelines, a proposed project to build a bi-directional 100 pipeline from Albany, that's not quite, a proposed project to build,
Just remove the A.
Just
To
build-
bi-directional 180-mile pipelines.
yes, no, well, no, it should say a set,
Yeah, okay.
a set of 180-mile pipelines.
You don't want the bi-directional in there?
No, because that's the language they used to use to make it sound like it was one pipeline,
Right,
but we have
so
since
set.
learned it's two.
So you
A
want to
set
say-
of 180-mile pipelines from Albany, New York to London, New Jersey to transport crude oil and refined petroleum products. And whereas the Pilgrim Pipelines, again another S, proposal poses risk to public health and safety, local economies, and the environment. And whereas under Governor Cuomo's Reforming the Energy Vision, REV plan, New York is working towards reducing greenhouse gas emissions from the energy sector by 80% from 1990 levels by 2050, and sourcing 50% of all New York's electricity generation from renewables by 2030. And whereas the Pilgrim Pipelines, again another S.
Can I just ask you, interrupt for a second?
Sure.
Are they called Pilgrim Pipeline, or are they called Pilgrim Pipelines? Even though there's more than one, if they're called Pilgrim
It's not the
Pipeline,
name of the company.
okay.
It's Pilgrim Transportation
So it's just the
Corporation.
Pilgrim
Yeah, but
Pipelines,
the pro-
okay. That's why I just want to be sure that we didn't screw up that.
And continued emphasis on fossil fuel dependence contradicts New York State's short-term and long-term clean energy goals. Whereas this would be a direct potential conflict of interest due to needed approvals from an organization that is part of the NYSLRS. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Rosendale requests the New York State Comptroller to take a broader look reviewing Ares Management portfolio companies, including those not directly held in the NYSLRS, through the lens of Governor Cuomo's Reforming the Energy Vision, REV plan, And be it further resolved, since the comptroller's office has led the effort to improve transparency with regards to corporate political spending, the town board of the town of Rosendale encourages the comptroller's office to continue its admirable work and exercise its fiduciary responsibility when reviewing third-party investment managers' portfolio holdings and the nature of underlying businesses. Be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Rosendale directs the town clerk to send copies of this resolution to the New York State Comptroller, Governor, I almost said Mayor, New York, well, we should say Andrew Cuomo, and the county comptroller. Or do you want to just say governor's office?
That's fine.
Comptroller, Ulster County Comptroller.
The
Office of
Ulster,
the
and the
County.
Ulster County comptroller.
Can I get a second? Oh, second that, okay.
And thank you, Mary Lou, for,
Yeah.
Roll vote, Councilman
and
Hughes.
abstention.
Yes.
Councilwoman Metzger.
Yes.
Councilwoman McCarty.
Yes.
Supervisor Wolf.
Yes.
Good,
Excellent.
thank you.
Good thing, because it would have been way too short a meeting if we didn't have that.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Jen.
That's all then, right?
That's all she wrote.
Make a motion to go into executive session to